Plymouth is one of the best places to view whales along the East Coast. Many varieties of these magnificent marine mammals live right along our coastal waters. Plymouth is also home to one of the world's most active organizations dedicated to the conservation and welfare of whales, dolphins, and porpoises. WDC, or the Whale and Dolphin Conservation, maintain offices on Nelson Street in Plymouth, and PACTV Community News stopped in to meet the staff and learn more about their work.
We are, how do I say this modestly, we're Plymouth's best kept secret, maybe New England's best kept secret. We're the leading global charity that works to eradicate the threats that whales and dolphins face around the world, and our headquarters for the U.S. is right here in Plymouth, Mass. Our waters are home to 11 species of whales, and we often see North Atlantic right whales. We also often see the Gulf of Maine humpback whale population, which is the most studied population in the U.S. The top 3 threats that we see here in Cape Cod Bay are the same as they are around the world. Man is the greatest threat to whales, and the 3 biggest impacts are vessel strikes, entanglement in fishing gear, and habitat degradation.
WDC worldwide does a lot of work to advocate and influence policy for the protection of whales and dolphins. And here in North America, we are currently focused on a campaign to increase protections for the North Atlantic right whale. We actually get to see them right here in Cape Cod, which is not a normal thing. There are fewer than 500 of them left in the world. So to be able to watch them from our backyards is a pretty spectacular thing. The sad part of the story is that they have been on the brink of extinction for almost a century because of humans. And even though they've been protected under the Endangered Species Act since the 70s, they still are very vulnerable.
Personally, one of the major motivators for me to work with whales is the fact that they have such a strong sense of community. They have such strong family bonds, and that they work in social environments together. They teach their young, and they raise their young, and they stay in family groups for quite some time. They interact with each other socially and specifically for different populations, and they learn and adapt and share with each other. And so the sense of community that I see in whale populations is undeniable.
We're actually able to identify individual animals within that population, and a lot of them actually have names. We have a catalog of over 2,500 individual whales that have been identified since 1976, the first of which was Salt, and we actually have a family tree for her. We've been able to track her family history, her lineage. We know that she's had 12 calves, and a couple of her calves have also had calves as well, so Salt is a grandmother. We're able to learn a lot about these individuals when we can identify them separately. Just like humans, with our fingerprints, everyone is a little bit different, and that's the same for these humpback whales. The pattern on the underside of their tail fluke is different for each individual whale.
The reasons why whales are very important to us are numerous. Whales help keep the health of the ocean where it needs to be, and most people aren't aware of the fact that our oceans are the lungs of the world. So over 90% of the oxygen that is created by our open oceans, and the activities and byproducts of the whales here in Cape Cod Bay as well as around the world are what really help to contribute to that environmental healthy balance.
Our office here has had an intern program since 2007 where we've had not only local interns but also national and international interns. These interns will spend about 3 months of their time with us, usually during the summer. That's our peak field season here. And during that time, they're working on a variety of different aspects related to whale conservation. So the interns that we have spend a lot of time working on the local whale watch boats. We work in partnership with them, and the interns are able to collect data on the whales that we're seeing. They're taking photos of those whales as well to identify both different species and individual whales. In addition to their time on the boat, they also are responsible for uploading their data into our database so that we can actually use that information to influence policy changes and increase protections for these whale populations that we have off our coast here.
We're always working to end captivity, to end whaling, to enhance the research and conservation here in the U.S. and around the world, and just in general, help make sure that everyone knows as much as possible about the different threats that face the animals in the ocean.
We know what is causing the problems, and we know that we can make a big difference. Obviously, the more people that are involved, the better. So this campaign is focused on getting as many people to realize what these whales are up against and how they can get involved to help.
What we ask folks to do is log on to whales.org to learn a little bit more about the work we do and how they can help. It can be as simple as picking up garbage when you walk the beach, recycling things at home, turning off your energy, or it can be more advanced as participating as a donor or working as an advocate for WDC and just letting your voice be heard as to why you believe that whales should be protected.